Welcome to the final week of this course. We're going to talk about application software, which is something we all use. We'll discuss the types of application software that are available and what sorts of things they can do. Let's get started. Some software is free, and some is not. If software is legitimately free, it's called freeware. You can find these applications and utilities on the Internet and download them at no cost. But doing so can be risky. For example, the software you pay for has been thoroughly tested, usually has an online help system, won't conflict with other software you're already using, and you can call someone if it breaks. Freeware means you're on your own, and some of the freeware out there is definitely better than others. The best idea: proceed with caution. One of the most popular software applications is word processing. This type of software basically replaces typewriters, thank goodness. That means that when you make a typo and hit the wrong key, you don't have to use whiteout. You just have to backspace. You can also make the letters any size, color, or font you prefer, rather than boring standard typewriter letters. You can highlight text, copy it, and paste it somewhere else without much effort. Word processing software has a life-saving feature: spell check. There is a dictionary stored with the application, and the word processing software actually compares every word you type against what's in the online dictionary. If there's a difference, it lets you know about the mismatch, and then the program gives you the correct spelling and the option to change it automatically. Word processing programs are all about words, and spreadsheet programs are all about numbers. Spreadsheet programs can do just about anything with numbers. Excel is probably the most popular spreadsheet program. Excel can add, subtract, multiply, divide, average, estimate, and chart any numbers you enter. Excel documents are called worksheets, and a collection of worksheets is called a workbook. The whole screen is a series of little boxes called cells, and each cell can do a different thing. One can add, one can subtract, one can total. In sum, Excel is quite a powerful program. Presentation software is designed to make fancy slides if you need to present information to a group of people. These presentations can be viewed on a computer screen, a projector, television, or they can be printed and distributed. In fact, the slides for the lecture you're viewing were created using presentation software. This type of software lets you mix up text, pictures, and voices all into a very pretty package. The software you'll probably become most familiar with is Microsoft PowerPoint, but there are others. As our lives get more complicated and we're asked to keep more information, we once again turn to the computer. Software programs exist that keep personal information for us. You are probably aware of one of the most popular of these, Microsoft Outlook. We can use Outlook to enter contact information for someone, and that contact information no longer needs to be just a phone number and address. Personal information software is also handy when it's time to send out invitations. You can buy pre-made adhesive labels, stick them into your printer, assemble your addresses in Outlook, and presto, you have pre-printed labels. Email also allows you to send one single message to 3 or 4 friends at once without having to look them up separately. Or you can create groups of people so you can send one message to all your friends, one message to all of your family, and one message to all of your coworkers. One word of caution: remember to back up your files. Losing personal contact information can be painful. What about graphics? Have you ever wanted to create your own graphics on the computer? For this, you would use graphics software. This software is fun to use, but a little complicated. Before we learn more about it, you should know these two terms: bitmap and vector. If a graphic file is bitmapped, the image appears through the use of a bunch of little connected dots. If you see an image of a blue ball that looks solid, and the file bitmapped, the image looks jagged when it's enlarged. If a file is a vector graphic, that means a mathematical equation is actually drawing the image. There are still little dots, because that's the only way the computer can display them, but you can't see the dots as easily. Bitmapped and vectors each have their strengths and weaknesses depending on the work you're doing. You might need to know this when selecting a file type to save your image, or before choosing a graphic software package to use for your home business. Just as you can produce and output graphic files from your computer, you can also bring them in. You can do this easily by using a scanner, which looks a bit like a photocopy machine. But instead of giving you a paper copy, it transfers the image directly into a file for your computer. A digital camera can also send files to your computer if you have the right connection hardware and software. You can also grab clip art under the Insert menu in most Microsoft Office applications, or go onto the Internet and search for clip art. If you're a photography buff, you probably know about the photo editing software that lets you make magic with your photos. You can lighten or darken your images, add shadows, add text, or touch up the photo in other ways. Or you can move your photo file into a paint program to add colorful paintbrush marks, watercolors, airbrush, or crayon effects. You can start from scratch and use a draw program that lets you make circles, squares, triangles, or other common shapes. These are often helpful within a business environment if you need to make a chart or graph. Some businesses use software called computer-aided drafting or CAD software to make blueprints or other technical drawings. Today's architects and builders use this type of tool to make drawings, for example, to map out where the electrical system will be within a house. No matter which field of business you are thinking of entering, chances are that business is using a computer with application software. Application software has made difficult tasks much easier and faster. In fact, much of the recent progress in computers has been aimed at businesses becoming more efficient. The good news is that we can also use these nifty tools at home. Computers might be frustrating at times, but the good and useful usually outweighs the bad. Knowing some fundamental information about computers is critical in today's world. I'm confident this information will help you in every aspect of your life. I hope you enjoyed this course.